Marcus Washington adjusted his tie one more time before walking through the glass doors of First National Bank on Elm Street. The morning sun cast long shadows across the polished marble floor as he approached the customer service desk, his military posture evident in every step. At 32, Marcus carried himself with the quiet confidence that came from serving 3 tours overseas, but today he felt the familiar knot in his stomach that always appeared when he had to handle official business. "Good morning," he said, to the young teller, pulling out his wallet. "I need to make a large cash withdrawal from my account." The teller, barely out of college, looked at Marcus's request and her eyes widened. Sir, this is for $15,000. I'll need to get my manager for a withdrawal this large." Marcus nodded patiently. "I understand. Take your time." From across the banking floor, branch manager Karen Mitchell watched the interaction with growing suspicion. She'd been managing this branch for 12 years and prided herself on knowing trouble when she saw it. A black man in his 30s requesting 15 grand in cash? Her mind immediately jumped to conclusions that had been shaped by years of unconscious bias and too many crime shows on television. Mitchell strode over, her heels clicking authoritatively against the marble. "Sir, I'm going to need to see multiple forms of identification for a withdrawal of this size." Marcus remained calm, though he felt the familiar sting of being treated as suspicious for simply existing. "Of course." He handed over his driver's license, military ID, and passport. Mitchell barely glanced at the documents. "And what exactly do you need this money for?" "I'm purchasing a used car for my mother," Marcus replied evenly. "The seller only accepts cash, you Mitchell's tone dripped with skepticism. "And you just happen to have $15,000 sitting in your account?" Other customers began to notice the commotion. Marcus felt their stares burning into his back. "Ma'am, I can provide bank statements if needed. I've been a customer here for 4 years. But Mitchell had already made up her mind. She pulled out her cell phone and stepped away, speaking in hushed tones. "Yes, I need police at First National on Elm Street. I have a suspicious individual trying to make a large cash withdrawal. He claims it's his account, but something doesn't feel right. Black male 30s, says he needs $15,000 in cash." Marcus couldn't hear the exact words, but he recognized the body language. His heart sank as he realized what was happening. Again, even after serving his country, even after building a successful IT consulting business, even after doing everything right, he was still being treated like a criminal. Within minutes, 2 FBI agents walked through the bank doors. Agent Sarah Chun and Agent Robert Torres had been nearby investigating a series of bank frauds when they received the call. They approached Mitchell first, who pointed dramatically at Marcus. "That's him," she whispered loudly enough for half the bank to hear. "He's trying to withdraw $15,000, claims it's for a car, but I just know something's not right about this whole situation." Agent Chun approached Marcus professionally. "Sir, we need to speak with you about your transaction today." Marcus straightened his shoulders, falling into the military bearing that had become second nature. "Of course, agents. Is there a problem?" "We received a call about suspicious activity. Can you provide identification and explain the nature of your withdrawal?" Marcus handed over his documents again, this time including his military discharge. "Papers. I'm Marcus Washington, former Staff Sergeant, 82nd Airborne. I'm withdrawing money from my account to purchase a vehicle for my mother." Agent Torres took the military ID and studied it carefully. His expression shifted as he read the details. "Staff Sergeant Washington... Wait a minute." He looked up at Marcus with new recognition. "Didn't you serve in Afghanistan with the 82nd? "Yes, sir. 3 tours between 2018 and 2023. Agent Chun was now looking at the documents with equal interest. "Sarah Chun," she introduced herself properly. "My brother David served with the 82nd around the same time. Were you part of Operation Enduring Support?" Marcus's posture relaxed slightly. Yes, ma'am. I was squad leader for Bravo Company. Agent Torres suddenly stood at attention. Staff Sergeant, you were the one who saved those civilians during the Kabul evacuation, weren't you? The one who went back into that bombed building 3 times? The bank had gone completely silent. Even the air conditioning seemed to pause. Marcus felt uncomfortable with the attention. I was just doing my job, sir. Like hell you were just doing your job, Torres said, his voice carrying across the marble floor. You saved 14 people, including 6 children, from that collapsed building. You carried them out one by one while taking sniper fire. Agent Chun stepped forward. Staff Sergeant Washington, you received the Silver Star for that action, didn't you? Marcus nodded reluctantly. Yes, ma'am. What happened next would be talked about in the town for years to come. Both FBI agents simultaneously came to attention and rendered sharp military salutes to Marcus Washington, right there in the middle of the bank lobby. It's an honor to meet you, Staff Sergeant, Agent Chun said, holding her salute. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice. The silence in the bank was deafening. Karen Mitchell stood frozen, her face cycling through shades of red as she realized the magnitude of her mistake. The other customers began to understand what they were witnessing, a genuine American hero being honored by federal agents. Same man their manager had just tried to have arrested. Marcus returned the salute with military precision, though his eyes glistened with emotion. Thank you, agents. As they lowered their salutes, Agent Torres turned to Mitchell, his voice now carrying a steel edge. Ma'am, this man is a decorated war veteran and, from what I can see here, a legitimate customer of your bank. What exactly made you think he was suspicious? Mitchell stammered, looking around at the faces now staring at her with a mixture of disappointment and disgust. The amount was large, and I just thought ... You thought what exactly? Agent Chun pressed. That a black man couldn't legitimately have $15,000 in his bank account? An elderly customer spoke up from the growing crowd. Shame on you, lady. This man served our country, and you treat him like a criminal? Marcus held up a hand gently. Please, everyone. I appreciate your support, but I don't want anyone to feel attacked. This is a learning opportunity for all of us. His grace in the moment only made Mitchell's behavior look worse by comparison. The teller who had originally helped Marcus looked mortified. Sir, I am so sorry about this. Let me process your withdrawal immediately. Agent Torres handed Marcus his business card. Staff Sergeant, if you ever need anything, you call me directly, and I mean anything. As Marcus completed his transaction, word began to spread throughout the bank and then onto social media. Someone had recorded the FBI agent's salute, and the video began going viral within hours. The caption read, "Bank manager calls FBI on black veteran agents, salute him instead." By evening, the story had made national news. The bank's corporate headquarters called an emergency meeting. Karen Mitchell was suspended pending investigation, and the bank issued a public apology to Marcus Washington. But for Marcus, the most meaningful moment came 3 days later when he received a call from Agent Chun. Staff Sergeant, my brother. David says he remembers you now. You saved his life in Kandahar when that IED went off near his convoy. Agent Chun, please tell your brother he doesn't owe me anything. We all looked out for each other over there. He wants to buy you dinner when you're free. And Staff Sergeant, that manager got fired today. The bank is implementing mandatory bias training for all employees. Marcus smiled for the first time since the incident. Ma'am, I hope something good comes out of all this. Maybe the next person who looks different won't have to go through what I did. The story of Marcus Washington became a catalyst for change in their small town and beyond. It sparked conversations about unconscious bias, the importance of seeing people as individuals rather than stereotypes, and the quiet heroes who walk among us every day. And sometimes, Late at night when Marcus couldn't sleep, he thought about those FBI agents and their salutes. In that moment, in front of all those people, he had been seen for who he truly was, not as a threat to be feared, but as an American hero to be honored. It was a salute that changed everything.